What's happening? Go back.
Go back. My favorite part. They cut my favorite part.
Time's up. Let's do this.
We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everyone to episode 252 of Born to be Wild, a wild Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the wild formats of Hearthstone, and spotlighting members of the wild community. I am your host, ElectricSheepCity. It is great to be back on this wonderful Friday evening here in beautiful Colorado. I am joined by fellow hosts, Hydralisk.
Yo!
And Schmoopydady.
Oh, God. I will become king of the pirates, I guess, again.
For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. We record this podcast live every Friday evening at twitch.tv/borntobewildhs, and the video version of this podcast is then posted to YouTube shortly thereafter. Audio versions are also distributed to all podcast apps. However you are watching, listening, or absorbing via osmosis this podcast today, thank you. Yes, you.
Content plug, Schmoopydady. Before we get into the main topic of the show tonight, I'd like to say a quick thank you to the patrons of our show. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video on YouTube. Another simple way to support the show is to leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. If you're watching live on Twitch, we've got some awesome emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to the channel. This is free if you use Amazon Prime. Finally, if you'd like to support the show financially, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 per month. We have some channels in the Discord that are unlocked by subscribing to the Patreon, where you can see the show coming together each week. Check it out. If you'd like to interact with us personally, please join our Discord, a free and amazing online community of friends from all across the world who love talking about wild Hearthstone. Links to all of this stuff and more, including our merch, can be found on our website, which is www.borntobewildhs.com. Scrolls down carefully to see who is in front this week. Sheep, how's your week?
My week was pretty good. So this was the last full week that the lamb is in his current classroom in daycare. So it's kind of exciting, but also kind of he's been having some sleep issues. His favorite teacher moved a couple weeks ago. So, it's exciting, but also a little difficult too. Work. Well, my friends, work has been work. And this weekend, I'm starting Dragon Age 2 for Squelch. So I'm very excited. Nice. We're going to record that first episode on Dragon Age 2 on Monday. So I have time to do that thing. But for our podcast, I've been playing more standard than wild, as is kind of tradition for me, right? Like at the beginning of an expansion, standard tends to change more. I've kind of been enjoying it, but I think we may be talking about we'll definitely talk about the wild meta. I imagine we'll talk some standard there too while we're there. So Hydra, tell me about your week, my friend.
Well, just like you, I've been doing kind of the same thing, playing some standard at the beginning. I know it always sounds so bad, Born to be Wild, but playing standard. But it's always at the beginning of the expansion. I even had somebody actually message me just with the single word, in game, go standard ?
Well,
I was like, yeah. It actually started with trying to do. I had to do 3 Death Knight games, right? Or I had other options, but I wanted to, I don't know, I chose Death Knight. That's the one of the 3 classes I chose to do. And I just used the pre-built deck that you can select. And oh my God, it took me, I did this at like, it was after 10 o'clock at night. It was a work night. And I wanted to just do like, I should have looked at the deck list. I was like, like auto build play. And it took me over an hour. I didn't go to bed till like 11:30, and I was planning on going to bed at like 10.
Yeah.
Were you playing Starship? Were you playing Starship DK?
No.
Was it like really slow and grindy? And you're like,
It's really slow and
hit
grindy. There are starships in it, but not as many as you would think. I don't even remember the entire list, but it wasn't that good. It was running the quest. It was the quest one, and then it was just which, by the way,
you saw my face. Sorry,
I have the signature, the golden, and the regular of that quest. I have all 3 versions you can get of it, and it's not very good. So that's cool. Anyways, but I've been playing a bunch of standard. We can talk more about stuff we were playing a little bit later and how things are shaping up. But as for outside of Hearthstone, I finished Lisey's Story by Stephen King. It was a really, really cool book. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's he kind of wrote it about what it's like to be his wife. Is sort of the theme of the book, is like what it's like to be her. And it's kind of neat, and it's based on some things that are true, and then he builds on it and makes a whole fantastical event out of it. It's cool. I really enjoyed it. It was a big sort of switch up. The only thing that's not a switch up in it is main character being an author, because he's done that like so many times. But it's about his wife being married to him, basically. So one of the main characters is an author, of course.
And I mean, write what you know, and he's written a lot, so makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah. So anyways, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to watch the Apple TV show next. So excited for that. And then for Unrelated Advice, a while back, I had asked Sheep a suggestion of like an author that I might like. And based on the fact that I liked the Red Rising series, and I like Stephen King stuff. And I don't know if I picked the exact book you said in the Unrelated Advice by this author, but it's Neil Stephenson. Yeah. And I had picked Snow Crash. And this book starts off it's like, if I would have read this back, because it came out like in the early 90s, their target was like skateboard kids that like cool stuff, right? Like it starts off with like a high speed pizza delivery, like where you die if you don't get the pizza there on time. Like,
well, do you have my pizza or not?
It's like so over the top. It's crazy. It comes right out of the like late 80s, early 90s action hero style like movies where everything is completely over the top. And it's written by someone who obviously knows stuff about skateboarding, because there's so much skateboard stuff in it. Down to
stuff about pizza?
Thrasher magazine is in it and stuff like that. Like anyways, it's super cool. And most people probably know about this book. I had no idea that the main premise is about the metaverse. And like, that's what Zuckerberg like built with the whole like VR thing. I'm like, it's like blowing my mind. It's really cool. Anyways, I don't have any spoilers because I haven't actually gotten super far into the book, but I had no idea that Neil Stephenson actually coined the term metaverse. He like actually invented that term.
Yeah.
And like, I've been playing VR and going in all this stuff and all these areas and doing all this stuff that they're describing in a book written in 1992. And I'm like, and it's happening now that I've been doing it. I'm like, that is so crazy. It's just neat. And explaining how the avatars are built and like all this stuff. It's just, it's weird. It's really weird. It's like reversed for me because I've experienced it and then I'm going back and reading the guy who basically invented it in a book. So
I'm so glad you're enjoying it. That makes me so happy.
Oh yeah. And it's also geared towards young people for sure, because there's a dirty, funny name for everything. like Rugers are called Lugers or Loogies. Like, it's just like everything is. And I'm not going to say some of the other ones because they're kind of inappropriate, but yeah, everything. There's sentences in there when they'll use all of them, all of these, like their own language, all these words put together will mean something completely different when you read it out loud.
But I like how unlike like A Clockwork Orange, like you learn all the lingo and it kind of like builds on it, and then it's just like you can read that sentence and then you just kind of like get it, right?
Yeah. So that's one thing. That's the exact thing I thought, Sheep, is it explains it to you because it tells you what each one of those words means as they go, not just like throws it right in your face and you don't understand the first page of the book. So it's really cool. I don't know how I didn't figure or hear about this book for this long, but I'm super stoked and definitely enjoying it, and maybe I'll read more of his books afterwards. I can't see why I wouldn't, because very much enjoying it.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm going to be off work next week. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with my time, but I'm going to do something fun. Probably hikes. I don't know. I've considered streaming some Hearthstone. I don't know if I will or not. Thinking about it. But yeah. Schmoopydady, how was your week?
It was pretty good. So this week started off kind of hectic because we signed up for, my wife and I signed up for the same grad class. The topic was teaching ADHD students, which was fine, but like, you know, the hours were set to be like 8:30 to 5. Like, it was going to be super long, but it was at the end of it, we're going to get 3 credits. And, you know, we we did not stay on like a Zoom call from 8:30 to 5. Like, there were breaks. There was time for independent work. I went fine. It was great. Day one was kind of funny because we thought Schmoopy had camp that week. So I got Schmoopy in a car. I got him all lathered up with sunscreen, right? It was day one. So like the woman's giving instructions on how the course is going to go. And I'm like on my phone with it on a stand on the floor of my deck while I'm like, you know, rubbing down my son with sunscreen, right? We got his lunch together. We get everything all set. He's had his meltdown about like, well, actually he was good. He didn't have a meltdown because he forgot that he was going to camp. But like if we told him he was going to camp, he would have had a meltdown. So it was like, all right, well, we're shipping you off to Boston. And we throw him in the car, and I had the Zoom call on in my car as I'm driving my car. I'm not interacting with my phone, but like they can see it's me and I'm driving a car. They can see the roof of my car as I'm driving. I get to camp, and no, he's signed up for next week.
Oh, no.
We dropped this week. So he was signed up, and then we dropped, probably because we had the class. We're like, that's probably too much.
Oh, so you just forgot.
We forgore. But
happens.
I learned a lot from the course this week. Wait,
before you get into that, I need to know Schmoopy's reaction when he gets to camp and there's no camp.
He was elated. He was elated. He's like, I get to go home. I get video games at 10. And I was like, yeah, all right. You freaking slug, right? So we went back home. We went back home. We let him rot a little bit. But it's so funny how, like, you know, you hear about these stories, and like the course wasn't always focused on students. A lot of it was just like identifying ADHD and like the symptoms and what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And, you know, one of the first days we're talking about how it's probably hereditary, right? Like it's genetic and it's mostly hereditary. It can happen as a mutation, as anything else can, but like 90% of the time, or whatever the statistic was, it was like higher than 75% of the time, it's hereditary. And so it makes so much more sense going through the different behaviors and just things that you can attribute to it. And I'm like, oh, that's my wife. Oh, that's me. Oh, that's my wife. Oh, that's me. At one point they were talking about how, like, you know, you discount events in the future often because just like your sense of time is all screwed up. And I'm like, oh my God, like my planning into the future goes no further than a week probably, and sometimes less. So like I absolutely see it happening. Or like even like I don't know, we owned a house when we were in our, you know, we bought our house when we were like 27, right? And so like we're doing house stuff, and I'd be doing house stuff, and then like, you know, my wife would be like, Schmoopydady, because my wife obviously was referring to me at that time as Schmoopydady. She'd be like, Schmoopydady, what are you doing? And I'd be like kind of looking around, and be like, I don't actually know. Like, because I had started one job and done another job and then started a third job and finished none of them, and I was sitting on the couch. And so, and I'd completely forgotten how I'd gotten there. Mm-hmm. And I used to think just like, dude, you got to focus. You got to do better than this. And I used to think that was just like, I don't know, just me being a space case. And in reality, it's probably a neurological condition that I, you know, have just sort of housed my entire life. And so that part has been really interesting, like learning more about like just how my brain works, and then how my son's brain works, and probably how my daughter's brain works, given how she's a little goofy too. So that's been kind of fun. Before I move, Sheep looks like he wants to share. Sheep, are you in a sharing mood?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like I was like a full-grown adult before I got diagnosed with my ADHD, and totally understand all of what you're saying about the like, I probably had it and just couched it for entire life. So definitely glad that you're like connecting the dots and all that good stuff.
And it wasn't like a sob story of like, oh my God, it's not my fault, but like, because like some people are like, no, some people's lives are like ruined. They're like, how could this have been missed? Oh my God, like all of this is not my fault. And like, I don't know. I had one of those realizations this week. I was just like, oh, it's not my fault. This is right? Just like, it's just what it is, and you just kind of gotta figure it out. And like, I don't know, I've done all right for a long time, and I guess I'll keep doing all right. But like when he's talking about like the mental tank, like there's only so much energy you have that you can put aside towards executive functioning. And in people with ADHD, that tank drains very quickly and then needs time to refill. And so I just thought I was lazy at times. Or it's just like, well, man, I can't even finish this thing. What am I doing? And the reality is it's just like, no, dummy, take 2 minutes, recharge, try again. Take 2 minutes, recharge, try again. And even when I was doing the work, like for the course, I'd like tried one of the methods where it's just like work, complete a thing, take a break. Work, complete a thing, take a break. And so I'd work, I'd complete a thing, and then I'd play a game of Hearthstone. And then I'd work, I'd complete a thing, and I'd play a game of Hearthstone. And then I'd work, and I'd gig a tilt, and I'd play a second game, because I'm freaking tilting, right? And maybe, nope, still tilting. Nope, okay, we're going back. We're completing a thing, and then we're going to kick somebody's butt. And that was just sort of like I was just doing that process. I was like, wow, I'm a little bit more productive doing these things. Just like learning little tricks that you can use with students, but it's just like, no, dummy, you're applying it to yourself. So like that was very fulfilling this week.
That's why I play Hearthstone at work, because I actually get so much more done whenever I do.
Well, and here's the crazy thing, right? And here's the crazy thing, and I just thought I was a jackass teacher. Like, I'd go through the whole day running class, and then I have a prep at the end of the day, right? Mm-hmm. And my prep at the end of the day, like, you know, a normal functional adult would sit down and say, I've given out all this work this entire day. Time for me to grade it, get in the grade book. And can I tell you that the last thing I wanted to do at the end of the day was sit down and get any of that crap in my grade book. And I'd need to wait for some kind of deadline to come around to light a fire under my butt for me to get it done. And the reality is by the end of the day, I'm probably done with executive functioning. My tank is empty. And that's not necessarily my fault. Now, it's an excuse. Like, dude, like, suck it up and do something about it. And I can be more cognizant of it. But, like, not even being aware of it, it's dictating my behavior. Now I can be aware of it, and I can be like, okay, I know you really don't want to do this right now. But it's because you don't function properly. You are broken. You need to suck it up and you need to do it anyway. Right, and so like I can kind of like psych myself
up
like
to replace
goof around, and
I'd like to push back on the broken real quick because
I know I'm being harsh on myself because I'm just being kind of like goofy, but like the self-deprecation like pulls in. But like yes, no, it's like I can recognize it and be like, okay, no, it's okay that you are spent right now. But also you're an adult and you can't afford to be, so just do it right now. And so I can play that mind game with myself and I can get there. So, okay. Anyway, I was saying that, like, hey, listen, this was really fulfilling. It was a great class. The set has been less fulfilling. I'm also playing with the new cards in Wild. We can talk a little bit more about meta. I was playing a lot the first couple days, and I was kind of in like, all right. So now we've got, I was like, all right, so we got new cards, right? And first I played the broken stuff. I was like, okay, so we're playing like Disco Lock, and we're playing like Miracle Rogue. And then I was like, okay, day 2, I'm going to play all fun stuff. And I went and I played the fun stuff and didn't go so great. Like, it was okay. And then, like, day 3, I was just like, okay, all right. New fun stuff. People are slipping me decks and DMs. I'm like, all right, I'm going to play it all, right? And it all sucked. It all sucked. It was all dying to like aggro, like the most basic, like people will just walk up to you playing Pirate Rogue and punch you in the face. And if your deck cannot withstand somebody walking up and punching you in the face, somebody who starts playing the game, can learn how to play Pirate Rogue and like play the minions on the curve, damage, go face. And if your deck can't do anything about that, there's a problem. And so I was trying to play like Nazmani Quest Priest, and I was trying to play like, I don't know, Reno Garbo, whatever, and like none of it was working. And I tilted so hard. I've been working out. I've been playing Hearthstone on a treadmill for an hour, trying to get to 1,000 calories to distract myself while I'm exercising. And I tilted for an hour flipping straight. Okay,
oh, no.
I tilted for an hour straight.
Calories.
I tilted for an hour straight, and then I got off the treadmill, and I played like good decks for like another 45 minutes after that to de-tilt from it. It was nuts. So like this set is okay. There's some fun stuff to do, but there's some bad stuff out there too. And standard we can talk about because you guys have been playing a lot of standard. I hear a lot of people are not super happy about standard, but that was, I don't know. I don't have a third thing. Stream's fine. I know, it was nice. I took a couple days this week. I took Monday because it was like lame duck meta. Nobody wants to see content on YouTube from the last meta anyway. So like, just take Monday off. And I took Thursday off because, like, you know, my wife and I both had work that we wanted to get done for the class today. So, like, took Thursday off. But, like, Tuesday and Wednesday were fun streams. So, like, no third thing for personal stuff. So, I'm good with news. What's in the news? What's the news?
Welcome to the news. The news is so good.
The news is okay. The first bit of news is that the lost city of Ungoro is now live.
Really?
There's a whole news item about it on the official site, and it's stuff we've already covered here with like keywords and quests are back and stuff like that. And a new set came out on Tuesday. One thing that I was not expecting. So, with the new set release, you know, we talked at length about King Plush, or King Crush rather, last episode, right? But actually going in and spinning the wheel. It's so much worse than I thought it would be. Like, it's so much more like the flashing, the blinking lights, and the like everything is like. I thought it was bad on the Hearthstone site in a, you know, like try and get people in way. And it was so much worse, so much worse in client. So we did, all three of us get gifted runestones to get the King Crush pet, like a full disclosure. So I've played with that thing. If you've seen me on ladder with that for free for us. Unfortunately, it is much more expensive for everyone. And I wish that would change. But what was y'all's experience with the actual Dark Moon fair itself? Since I know that y'all at least had the opportunity to engage with it too.
Yeah, I did the wheel spinning thing, and what I think, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you look at all the items you can get, the King Crush pet actually has a bit of a border built in around it, and the other ones don't, right? And so when it's going around, it looks like to me that you're gonna get King plush because it already has like a built-in border. But when the other thing is going around and it's selecting them, it's now giving the other ones this kind of glowing yellowy border or whatever color it is, and it tricked my brain into thinking, like, on my first poll that I got the King Crush, because it has a border on it and the other ones don't. And I'm like, oh, I got it on the first. And he actually makes this surprised look on his face when you get whatever you get. So I was like, oh, I got it. And I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. I was like, that would have been cool. I talked about that on the show. I got it first pull. That would have been nuts. And then you go around again, and I'm staring at it. And I watched it each time, and it's almost like it fools you into thinking you're gonna get it. Like, it's this like psychological thing. I could be looking too far into it.
It stayed a little extra on it, right? Like it
every time.
Yeah. It looks like you're gonna get it. Like, it's fooling you into thinking. I got it on the last poll. Like 99% of the population is gonna get it, so that's fine. The thing is like super cute, and I almost got it. I'm like at least halfway to level 2 to open up like the second skin.
I got there. So the second skin is the like orangey dino,
Devilsaur?
Right? Yeah. And then the next one is the like that I'm working towards now. So the first one takes 750 experience to go through. The next one takes 2,000.
Okay, that's a lot more. Yeah.
I have no clue what the last one's going to be, but
it should take a while. It's probably like 10,000 or something. Like, but even the 750 takes longer than because you get, I don't know, like 30 XP per game or something, depending on what you do. This one, you're supposed to play like rush minions, and you get more XP for that when you do. So each version of King Crush, you can get more XP by doing a specific thing. So if you play more rush minions, this one levels up quicker, and you'll see it. He kind of like flashes gold or something when you do. And so that's kind of neat. It like tips you off that's, I think that's how it's working, but it is confirmed on the Hearthstone website. It gives you a tip saying to play, like it's coming straight from them to play rush minions. And I guess you have to figure out the rest. But, yeah, it's funny when he does a little like exclamation mark thing. Like if you discover and you don't discover like I don't know if it's like you picked the wrong thing or something, but he gets this exclamation and he looks confused. Like above his head. I'm like, what, buddy? Did I pick the wrong thing? I don't know. It's super fun to play with, but I couldn't imagine paying $150 for it.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, Schmoopydady, what was your experience in spinning the wheel?
So first things first, I had played the game earlier. I thought it was weird how they did it. Like the weird how we attained it was like Blizzard's like, here are your runestones. I was like, okay.
Right.
Go pull the pokey, as they say in Australia. And I was like, all right. Right. And yeah, kind of like what you guys said. I spaced. I opened my HS client at one point and it yelled something at me and I had no idea what it was yelling at me about. And so like today I was like, Sheep, I was just like, hey Sheep, did we ever get like the what did I call it? Did we ever get the crush cookies for like the
something like
or
that,
something
yeah.
like that? I was like, did you ever get the crush bucks? And Sheep's like, yeah, dude, if you signed up. And so I went and checked and I was just like, oh crap, I have like, 1900 crush bucks in here. All right, yeah, I'll do the pokey. So I went and I did the pokey. And I don't know if it was like the fact that like I knew I was going to get it. There was no real thrill for me, I guess. Like, I knew I was going to get it because I was given money explicitly
Yeah.
from Blizzard for being in the creator program to go get it. So like I didn't even get like the funny rush of being like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to get it this time. That I'm sure is like, the reason why it's banned in Belgium. I've seen like on like some people on Discord being like, I don't have the funny crush option. And they're like, yeah, no, your country probably does not allow it. So I don't know. It's gross. I don't want to see it again. I like King Crush seems awesome. A little crushy. Well, you play with him and we play with him in the theory craft and gave him little scratches, gave him little toys. I haven't played with it yet because I'm gonna make it like a point option to like turn on, turn off for my own personal stream.
Yeah.
But like it's goofy because like people are kind of mad at it existing. So yeah,
I was gonna say,
how it is.
One thing, I was getting more friend requests than normal recently, and I don't know if it's because they want to yell at me for buying. And this is in
Probably.
standard, right? So if I get a friend request in wild, it's usually because someone wants to actually talk or something. But
Yeah.
in standard, I was getting them, and it's either they're mad that I'm playing Murloc Quest Paladin, or they're mad that I have the pet. I'm not sure which.
I mean,
or a
you are
combination of
basically
both.
Via Reddit logic, you are committing like two cardinal sins at once. Like you are. It's insane, actually. It's insane, actually, that you're spamming Murloc Paladin and also using King Crush. Like sir, that is. You are going straight to Reddit hell. Like
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Like there is no get out of jail free cards. We're ripping those up for you, buddy.
To try to tone it down. To try to tone it down, I was using the Arthas skin because you have to earn that, like by beating a thing, right? And then I was using just the classic card back. So I did two things to counteract the other two things to hopefully equal out, but I don't know. I don't think it worked. I could just.
I don't know if you did that with your karma. I don't know. I don't know. You're enabling the capitalists, you Blizzard shill pig. Yeah, no, I don't see that. I don't see that going well. Regardless,
I didn't accept
So I
any
don't know.
of the friend requests.
Just say no.
I didn't think it would go well.
you should have used the card back, the ultimate free card back.
Yeah.
Or you could just spam the legend card back as well and just be.
Oh my gosh. Yes, you should.
A golden
Oh yeah, go
coin
full evil.
from
Go
this
full
set.
evil. Yes. Make Murloc Paladin gold, and yes, so
I'm
that you
only
get the
like
gold
2 cards
coin.
away.
And I don't even use Finley because that'd be too on theme. You should use Suranoyo, the OG Suranoyo.
I thought of using Suranoyo.
Yeah, that would have been going full troll. And you know what? I think you would have gotten more friendly friend requests that way, being like, "Are you going like full troll right now?" And you'd be like, "Yes," and they'd be like, "Okay, full send. I love it." Like you will get people that way. But no, I don't know.
It would be even better is if you didn't have the golden like hero power either. It is just all this money that you spent on it.
I think there's an aggro priest bot that has the crush.
Speaking of money, though, there is an expensive thing in the client right now, and typically, you know, we don't comment too much on store stuff anymore. But this one is one of those like, come on, really? There is the Signature Quests Mega Bundle. That's the way to get all these things the cheapest, and that's 12,000 runestones or $120 US. I'm rounding by 1 cent. And that gets you 4 cards and 4 golden card packs. I am keeping my $120. Thank you.
I'm buying a box.
It's only 4 of them. It looks misleading because it's hiding in behind them the quest rewards.
Yep.
Like almost like there's more cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, are these the ones that you can only purchase or?
Yeah. So you can get them separately. For most of them are 35. The priest one is 40. So 40,000, 40,000, 4,000, 3,500, 3,500, and 3,500 runestones. For the priest, the rogue, the warrior, and the warlock quests. Schmoopy, have you been enjoying them?
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I think they're pretty. Like, I bought it for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is Twitch chat's been super generous, so it's just like, all right, this is covered already by like, I'll put this down as like stream expenses, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
It's like whatever. So I did splurge, and I was like, you know what, this is fine. I'll allow myself to do this
For sure.
The second part of it is like, well, yes, they're pretty to look at, but like, no, they aren't playable. Unlucky. So like, yes, I've sort of been enjoying it, but I'm waiting eagerly for them to be buffed so that they are more playable than they currently are. Because like, woof.
Dude, I can't even imagine like if someone was spending the money and expecting them to be like competitive, how bad that must feel too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew they weren't going to be competitive, but I also knew that Twitch chat was going to send me a bunch of crappy decks with them. So I was like, all right, let's just at least make them pretty.
I've got the Paladin quest one in Signature, and it's cool, but it doesn't matter because you don't get anything out of it, though, right? Like, you don't have like a 5-mana 8/8 that you drop after or whatever. It's just like you can look at it before you play it.
At least whenever you hover over the quest thing to see how many more Murlocs you need for the next one, it's a pretty picture each time.
I guess so.
So that was our expensive thing. Honestly, the imbue stuff made a little bit more sense to kind of be like that, because you weren't just getting 1 card per thing, right? It was like a group of cards per. This one feels like it's like, okay, what do they call it? Shrinkflation, where like you're paying the same amount but you're getting less for it. So that, you know, I am historically a whale, and I'm voting with my wallet. I didn't spend any money on this. on a single one of them.
Yeah, fair.
And I don't judge you for doing that, because they're going to be pretty. I'm going to watch them in your stream. So
I have yet to, by the way, I have played the Warrior Quest. I have yet to see the Warrior Quest reward hit the floor. I've seen my opponent earn it. I haven't earned it yet. I've seen my opponent earn it and not play it because they had to blow my stuff up because they were going to die. So I'm another thing I'm thinking about too is like I'm gonna play them in arena, right? Like eventually I'm gonna be bored of doing wild stuff off stream. I'm gonna play them in arena. In arena, I could see them being a little bit more playable, especially the warrior one, because the warrior one's like a giant value bomb, and arena games take forever. So like I could see them being a little bit more playable there too, where you can kind of steer into the skid if you happen to find one in your bucket. Anyway, for sure.
Well, then today we were greeted by 33.0.2, a hotfix patch. So this is a server-side hotfix patch that rolled out today. So we didn't have to download anything. But there were a few different things that are wild relevant. So I'll cover some of the quicker ones quicker. So like bug fixes and game improvements in Arena. Some people weren't able to get into it. They fixed that. That seems like a good thing to fix. Bug fixes and game improvements general. The game won't lock in solo adventures, so that's good. And resolved an issue causing the shop, and in some cases, the main menu as well, to be disabled. So...
yeah, I ate that one a couple times.
I did too.
There's someone in my Rumble guild that said basically they couldn't, like, Hearthstone was unplayable on all their devices with their account. For like, they actually, like, the Hearthstone button wouldn't work. They couldn't play Wild or Standard.
Yeah, the main menu was disabled. I'm glad that's fixed.
Like, I literally can't play Constructed Standard right now.
Uh-huh.
It was only for some people's accounts, apparently. Like, it wasn't for everyone. It's strange.
Super curious.
Skill issue.
Skill issue.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not
Skill
allowed.
issue.
Stay out.
Get good, idiot. It's the only reasonable take there.
This is the way. So I'm now going to backtrack up to the overall bug fixes and game improvements for Hearthstone, and we'll end with Wild because that's going to be the meat of the discussion. Yeah. So first, Submerged Map now correctly discovers all the Murlocs. If you played that and it wasn't, now you know why. It should be fixed. Ragnarai Scout now correctly applies the discount from Raptor Herald's Kindred effect to the copy. At least the Navigator was fixed so that the spell damage buff was not correctly interacting with eruptions. So that's fixed, and that's good. The Forbidden Sequence quests will correctly progress when the Discoverer is cast by the player. That seems important. Xavius, Nightmare Lord, Xavius, the Dark Gift now correctly applies to summon when drawn cards.
Before we go past this hidden sequence, two like little cute things that are fun.
Yeah.
But the final reward for the quest, Kazaku-san and Eudora do work with the weapon. We were told they're not supposed to, so shh. Don't tell any of the devs. We're told they're not supposed to, but they are coded as discovers.
Yeah.
So it's not a bug, it's a feature. Leave it. Devs, leave it, please.
It's a feature.
So it's really cool. So like if your weapon's up, you can discover your duel's treasures, and like two of them get played and one of them doesn't. Just don't pick a weapon because it will break the quest reward and then your stuff won't work. So don't do that. So for Kazaku-san, I haven't gotten to pull it off yet because the quest sucks. I don't know if you're supposed to pull it off and then get like let's say like 5 instances of Discover where you get like different duels treasures, which I think would pretty much end the game. I'm 90% sure that would end the freaking game. But or if it's going to act like Vast Wisdom you discover twice and then it plays the second thing you discovered twice. Which is weird. So I don't know if it's going to go through 5 choices and then your last 3 choices that you have are going to be the ones that actually matter and play out 5 times. That's going to be hysterical if it hits rag shots 5 times as Kazaku-san. That'd be hysterical. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that does work. I haven't tried Eudora yet. I tried Kaz, and the meta's unplayable for dragons to ever do that ever unless you queue into another.
Just gotta tank your rank.
But Zephyrus the Great does not work. I had a Reno Druid steal my weapon from my hand with Theotar, you jerk. Stole my weapon, and then tried to play Zephyrus, and there was a very pregnant pause after they made their discovery, because instead of getting the
other two discover
one card and then the other two discover options for free, they got Jack Diddle. Eat that. Zephyrus is not coded as a discover, even though it says discover the perfect card. So food for thought when you're playing the quest. Sorry to go off track, but that seemed like an appropriate time to bring that up. And you can continue.
Very wild relevant, in fact. Thank you. Especially the Zeph. That was, I was gonna try a Highlander
thought, right?
Dragon mage with the quest, and I'm no longer gonna do Highlander.
But like, don't expect. Well, you can, just don't expect Zeph to do anything other than do Zeph stuff, which is be one of the best cards in the game. So like, that's pretty cool. But aside from that,
but I wanted to do the funny.
Yeah, that's true. True.
You get it.
Who wouldn't?
I get it.
So moving on, we covered Xavius. Wilted Shadow won't fail to attack healed targets. That's unfortunate. Because I died to that today. I'm glad that the bug was actually fixed. But cards drawn from your opponent's deck by Doom Maiden are not buffed anymore by Kill Jaden's Portal.
Oops.
That's a funny one.
This is another one.
Tempo.
Tempo.
Never got to see it happen.
Tempo.
This is another very wild relevant one. Sharp-Eyed Lookout is back.
Ugh.
I'm sorry.
Is that your favorite card?
No, but I will say we got little to no communication on this, and I did send a very snarky tweet, and yes, I did ping Play Hearthstone with just like, man, do we know why this isn't working? It's not. I wish we could like contact somebody wearing like, I don't know, a fantastical head covering. Right, some absurd head covering, or what am I? Oh, some cockamamie cap. You know, like someone to communicate this. And have you noticed now that since Hat has not been rehired, that we have like 5 different information sources all covering the one job that he did? Because I find it hysterical that it's it's like 3 or 4 different point people all trying to like what that, yeah, all right, yeah, this is the thing that's going on. It's like one's over here, one's under my desk. You can't see that one. That's like the patch notes where they said, hey, Sharp-Eyed Lookout's not working right now. It's like, do we know why? So I don't know. I just an aside, and that's why I'm dressed up as a One Piece person, is because somebody's just like, are we wearing hats in solidarity for Hat? And so I was wearing a hat, and you two chickened out, and then Sheep took my lunch money,
forgot,
and he forgot. It's okay. I understand now. Because of the class.
I had a question. I can't remember what it was now, but I was like, I'd normally just send a message to Hat, like on Discord or something, and be like, hey, I have a question. Can you answer? And then, so I messaged Celestal, and I was like, I'm sorry, but since I can't ask Hat.
Hi, stepdad.
Since I can't ask Hat, can you answer this for me?
Yeah, and I would
it's like, who do I talk to? Right? Like for certain questions, you ask like 5 different people, depending, and because he could answer so many questions, right?
Yeah, and I would definitely like to echo what May is saying in chat, which is that definitely really miss Hat. Eliana, I only read her name, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but she has been incredible. She's who I would reach out to if I had like one of those random things right about Meow. But I mean, who can really replace Hat? Like there's like you said, Schmoopydady, there's like 5 people doing that, and it's diasporatic, and no one can fill Hat's hat. Finally in Standard, Spirit of the Mountain now correctly tracks for both players.
I don't even know what that card does.
Me neither. And in Wild,
I've got nothing for you.
I think that's the.
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Okay.
No, don't tell me.
Okay.
Hydra, do you know what it does?
No.
Okay, perfect. We have our unrelated advice. Let's move on.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's nothing to do with Bleach and everything to do with
Yeah.
Spirit of the Mountain. Excellent. And now, what you've all been patiently waiting for. Wild. E.T.C. Band Manager will no longer allow playing not owned cards anymore. That was apparently the issue that led to the Wild being broken before. So now that bug has been fixed, E.T.C. is back and we can play him in Wild again.
And Reddit
Hooray.
rejoices. How many decks do you like? I never got a solid answer on this. How many decks do you think were? I watched Martian. Martian's just like, oh my god. He showed a screenshot of his deck lists and the numbers that were like illegal because there was no ETC. It was at least he showed maybe 10 decks and 8 or 9 of them were unplayable. It's hysterical.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised if it's like 33%. That was my like thing that I was soft committing to before, and I think I'll stick with that.
A quarter, like a third to a quarter, or I thought it was like close to 40, maybe 50, but that's just me. But what do you think? What were you saying, Hydra? I cut you off.
I was just gonna say it all depends on your play style, because for me it was way less, right? It'd be like 20% at the most. And then in those decks, okay, so sometimes I'd be running ETC, but I would like always pick the same thing anyway. So I was like, oh, let's just play that card instead. Like, what do I usually pick here?
And you're usually a little bit faster, a little bit more aggro, but still, there are people who play aggro who absolutely jam
but I guess
ETC
the
into
idea
their
is,
deck, you know?
yeah, to run something
that was my thinking.
like an even card in an odd deck, or like the whatever,
Yeah,
you know what
I
I mean?
gotcha.
The cards you can't do
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm usually just running something faster in general. So it's just like, I can wait until they fix this. It already said last Friday that they were going to do it after the long weekend. And so, yeah, they came back and then they fixed it within a few days of coming back. So it's done now. So it took in total like a full week. So whatever, I can play all of the other decks. It's not a big deal for me.
Yeah, I do wonder if, now that we have it back, if ETC would kind of work like Zeph for the Discover for the Mage quest, or if we could get the other two.
No, you're going to get the other two.
Oh.
No, there are OTK. There's OTK potential there. You put in, you put Tony, Antonidas.
Mm-hmm.
Aha! You put in Antonidas, you put in Thaddeus, and you put in Molten Reflection, and you drop ETC with the weapon up. And you pick Molten Reflection, and it's literally infinite damage. You just copy the Thaddeus so that fireballs cause 0, and it's ha 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 ha. And I think like there's enough Discover options in Hostage Mage, or at least the Hostage Mage shell, that might be better than doing like the Romath light show stuff. Like it might just work better,
Quicker.
to
Not really hostage anymore.
yeah. It like instead of like just end the game. That might be a better approach, and like you still do your really dumb, annoying Solid Alibi, Infinite Frost Novas. Yeah, let's play the Protoss spell and Game Armor as well, and then out of nowhere, just ha ha, which might be a welcome change for some people who don't want to sit there and get ground to dust by Hostage Mage. And when ETC hits the board, it'd basically be over. I'm still not convinced that like you wouldn't play it in Hostage Mage so that when you drop ETC and pick Potion, it's already playing, like you put Romath in the ETC with another option like Calicos, so that when you drop it, your potion costs 0, and then you get a 1 mana Romath back. Like there are some goofy things that you can do. That would be fine. That we could absolutely play in our wild format. Or you do like Light Show, Romath, and Potion are in the E.T.C. So that Light Show's played... Well, you didn't cast it, though. I don't know. It gets complicated, but regardless, you get the point.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of potential there. Now that E.T.C. is back, we can begin experimenting. Excitement abounds.
Wait, where's the fix? Where's the fix about them fixing the board? Have they fixed our game boards yet?
No.
Sad.
I don't think so, at least.
Yeah. No, I don't see it in here.
When I was playing earlier, I couldn't interact with the board.
I want to click on the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be there, but that's okay.
I'm sure that they're
survive.
working on it. We know that they're aware of it, and like the E.T.C. seemed like looking at all of these seem like functional changes that would be higher priority. So totally understand prioritizing these, but yeah, I want my boards back too. I want my boards back real bad.
Especially for people without the pet. It's like the boards died for this.
Right? Okay, well, moving on then to our discussion topic, the meta. So we're of course going to begin at length with the wild meta, because I think that's what you're here for, right? So Miracle and Corb said from Discord, Miracle and Disco are both quite popular, but both are counterable, and counterable by similar decks. Both look mid. Top decks are Hostage Mage and Seedlock. Pirate Hunter went from tier 1 to mid because it doesn't line up well into that Disco Miracle field, especially Disco. Not sure when, if, Disco/Miracle fall off. Those decks both have lots of appeal as they got new cards and have appealing play patterns for a lot of people. Huge blowouts. It might just be a case where Disco and Miracle have disproportionately high play rates because they are appealing, and they strongly influence the meta without being top dogs themselves. Just a quick summary. So from your experience, Schmoopy, how has your play experience mirrored Corb's at kind of the different points and whatnot, different pocket metas that you're facing?
Sure. So I will say that like the day one story was probably Discard Warlock. Like Discard Warlock being back, looking very real. Cursed Catacombs is the incredible card that we thought it was going to be for Discard Warlock. The turn 1 blowouts are incredible. And it did a good job of, like, against other board-based decks, basically flooding the board to the extent that the other deck couldn't do anything about it. If we remember, Pirate Demon Hunter has traditionally struggled against faster aggro. Like Shadow Priest would give it fits because it would flood the board faster. And then while it's busy taking damage and trying to trade down and trying to get the board back, it would lose to burn over the top. So similar things happening with similar cards in Disco. So that was like the day one, I would say, story. Very quickly, day two, it became apparent that Miracle Rogue was a much better deck. And Miracle Rogue, in and of itself, lines up very well into Disco. The new map spell, I forget the exact wording for the map spell that Miracle Rogue got is like insane. Platasaur is nuts. Now we play Platasaur, draws a card, and then we step it and we play Platasaur again. And if it plays something that we can play, now we've like drawn 2 cards for 1 mana. Like it's bananas. Miracle Rogue was then the next big like story to come out of the expansion. Day 3, people are thinking about, okay, what kind of decks beat these 2 decks? I've seen I played what by my estimation was the most mid Reno Warrior ever. I picked up a code. I'm not going to say from where because I don't want to be rude to the person. I'll be rude to them on my stream, not on our podcast. I picked up a Reno Warrior. It wasn't main decking Ceaseless Expanse. It wasn't main decking Astalor. We were running Geist for reasons. We're running Onyxia because she's the brood mother. We should never forget. I don't know.
Never forget.
We're running Firak, who is like actively trying to kill you in Wild. Like, do not run Firak in Wild.
Maybe you're being trolled.
Great arena card. Amazing arena card. In Standard, Ripper. He's going to find lethal. In the little brawl that we just had, like the opponent always dies. In Wild, you're going to explore Ungoru or whatever the fires of Zinajar. You're going to Cataclysm. Your whole hand isn't going to go this time, but don't worry, 5 more Cataclysms are coming. Like it's just a hot mess. It's a disaster. What are you going to say, Sheep? Sorry.
One of the known issues right now is that some players who've bought the golden mini set did not get their diamond Fireboy. And no. I purchased the golden mini set with gold. Like I saved up. That's why I didn't have the golden mini set initially. And I have a golden a Fireboy. I have 2 of them because I crafted one before I, did the thing, and I still don't have my diamond. So I'm unfortunately one of those affected by that known
Blizzard.
issue.
But you're a Blizzard shield. That's what the comments tell me.
Right? So I cut Fryrak and I put in Marin because I have a signature Marin. So like into my big druid in Standard.
It makes sense. Yeah, no, so like it's running all sorts of weird mid cards, right? I went 4-1. It was the worst 4-1 I've ever gone on. Like it's running the quest. Like it's super greedy, but Warrior and Warrior removal is very good into Disco and very good into Miracle Rogue. Anything that has removal and can gain health, I would suspect is going to be very good into Disco. I would suspect that some sort of control Death Knight, yes, control Death Knight in Wild probably does fine into Discard Warlock because you can especially if it's triple blood or if it's like you're running Airlock Breach. You can get a lot of board presence to suck up the soul barrages. You can, when Threads gets unnerfed, whenever that's going to happen, probably won't, but whatever. But Threads would be very good into Disco. Like there's a lot of like tools that I'm looking at that I'm saying like, well, if you stack up enough corpses, it's probably really good into Disco. That's the kind of deck that I'd be looking at, do very well into these 2 decks. Mm-hmm. Which is why it makes sense that Hostage Mage and Seedlock are doing so well. Now, Hostage Mage was doing well without E.T.C. People just took out the E.T.C. and put a second potion in there, and the deck was fine. Because you don't have to go infinite to win every game.
And plus, you can still go infinite with Rewind, with the Murloc. Yeah,
you still can, right? You can
with like there,
or you
there
could
are
ramp up
options.
your hero power with Varden, or you could get ahead on board and just win with tempo by freezing the opponent's board over and over again, which is usually how you beat Shadow Priest. Usually you beat Shadow Priest by replaying, Little Varden 3 or 4 times, and then like just they've hit themselves in the face already. So like you're just finishing the job, also hitting them in the face at the same time while they can't do anything. So, Hostage Mage has been fine. Seedlock, I tried Seedlock today on the treadmill. Seedlock felt fantastic, especially when you were a degenerate running Cataclysm in Seedlock. So you see those pretty Miracle Road boards, and you think, oh, that's a nice number of 8/8s, and like you're frozen them a couple of times with the 1 mana freeze spell because you need to stall them, right? Because like they're doing their thing on turn 3. You can't cast Cata until you have turn 5. But then you rip Cataclysm and like their 1 board is gone. GG's. So Seedlock looks really strong. And Seedlock is another one of those decks that, again, removal and healing. It can remove Disco's unique brand of BS while also healing itself, and then, you know, throwing out giants, and those can soak up the soul barrages. So those two decks look really strong, and that makes a ton of sense to me. And he's absolutely right. I see no Pirate Demon Hunter. Pirate Demon Hunter is extinct as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
At the MMR that I'm at. I've seen Shadow Priests, who I suspect are bots, and they're going to play Shadow Priest even if Void Touch Attendant is 4 mana. I've seen a couple Pirate Rogues doing kind of okay. I wonder if Pirate Rogue is like fast enough that it's like, you know, okay. Sure, but Pirate Rogue seems like it would do very poorly into Miracle Rogue.
Yeah.
The other kind of like amazing, funny thing that is popping up is Nazmani Priest might be a real deck. Now, Dreadshot 1 was in chat earlier, and Dreadshot 1 would be like, it's always been a real deck. But like, it got a stealth buff with this expansion. This expansion launched, and the Nazmani Bloodweaver discounts, their animation disappeared. It's gone.
Oh, wow.
So if you have 3 Nazmanis on the board and you cast a spell, poof, all of a sudden cards are green and you can play them. And so, like, you might be taking a little bit of gamble with some access mana where you're just like, yeah. May in chat calls it Ableist Priest because she's playing with a voice mod. So she's listening to the cards being played at the time at 1,000, you know, whatever, X number of words per minute. And she's like, it just gives me a freaking headache. Right. And so, like, the animation is like so much faster. Animations are there. They just all trigger at the same time. Thank you, Dreadshot. Dreadshot's like a little mad at me because I was a little salty. I was a little sassy in Discord today, but it's not the kind of, it's not the Nazmani Priest that's popping up is not like the value based like sister stuff. It's basically Potion Priest. It's basically still an opponent's minion, throw a bunch of light shows on it, hit them in the face, or drop a Stone Tusk Boar, throw a bunch of light shows on it, hit him in the face. It's very direct, this version. So something to consider, experimenting, trying. Maybe find an HS Guru list. I would suggest not drinking an HS Guruing, but like I don't know. I don't have the good stuff yet because this is a development that I literally saw happen at like 6 p.m. today. But it's something that's interesting. Is that sort of stealth buff was good enough that the deck is like. And possibly, yeah. And again, this is me sort of putting on my Farseer hat, right? It might also be an issue where if it's something that we can animation cheat even further, then it might be something that ends up getting the card killed. So like that's, I think, another thing to consider always when we start talking about APM style decks. Is there ever an issue where this can be exploited, and thus you're going to see it a bunch by people who really don't care and just want to ruin other people's fun or have their own fun and are sort of blind to the fact that this is super obnoxious for everyone else on ladder. So that's my further insights to and also on the back of Corb, because again, like Corb's, you know, summed it up very nicely. In fact, I didn't even think of Hostage Mage or Seedlock being very good until he said it. But having played some of the decks that I was playing yesterday, I was getting wrecked by Seedlocks, and I was just like, that was part of my tilting process. So I was just like, holy crap, I can't believe I'm losing a Seedlock. One last deck, and I'm done yapping.
Was this before or after Corb had said Seedlock was good?
No. No. He like yesterday I was just getting wrecked by Seedlock, and I thought, oh my god, I'm getting wrecked by a crap deck. But turns out I was supposed to get wrecked. The last thing I will add is Nature Frog Shaman looks playable, looks good. Its bad matchup is Miracle Rogue. I'll say bad matchup because it can kind of do its things faster. If you're running Elemental Disruptions like Persian is, then you got a better shot at it. Disco I find to be 50-50. Disco is 50-50 because you can kind of push them off board, but they also, you know, they get your health total pretty low, and then you can pop off, and sometimes you heal out of range, and sometimes you get got. Sometimes you make a huge board, and sometimes they do the thing faster than you. So it's like 50-50-ish on that front. But it's playable, and it's a really cool deck. And it's sort of APM intensive without being It's like middle of the road APM intensive. You have decisions to make, but a lot of times it's just like 0, throw it at face, 0, throw it on the board, 0, 0.
Nice.
And then it's other decisions are made when you have to do discovers under pressure.
Yeah. So
right,
what's the new kind of wrinkle to the new frog shaman that's kind of like making it particularly powerful in this meta?
It was really good last meta, but the new tool that I got was Flight of the Firebird. Flight of the Firebird goes. It's an AI for shaman, 3 mana, draw 2 minions of different types, give them +2/+2. Oh god, wait, we need to talk about this card some more. So you can basically using it as a frog tutor, so that you don't have to do like cattle rustler or anything weird like that to go get your frog anymore. You can just use, Flight of the Firebirds, and it's in your hand now, and it's buffed, so it's harder to kill. So it's a 2/5 with stealth, so you just drop it on 5, and it's just like, all right, good luck. And maybe they can kill it. They probably can't. There's not a lot in the meta that's really looking to kill large health, stealth, big butt stuff.
Right.
The other funny wrinkle that happened day one was Doctolite got a bee in his bonnet, and it's just like, you know what? I hate Muck Morphers. Doctolite has not been playing Muck Morpher in Big Shaman for months. He's like,
wow.
No, this sucks. But Flight of the Firebird comes out, and now his vision has truly come full circle, because he only is running elementals, and he's only running mechs. Do you know what mech he's using?
Could it be the one that plays the first few cards from your deck? Is that not a mech?
Target dummy. 0 mana, 0/2. So he plays Flight of the Firebird on 3. It pulls target dummy and either a Walking Mountain or Neptulon.
Right.
Drop down the target dummy.
And then the next turn you Ancestor.
Because it's free. It's free. It's a 2/4 taunt. It's a 0 mana 2/4 taunt.
Yeah.
Turn 4 Ancestor's Call. There's your buffed Walking Mountain. Good luck. GG's.
No, that makes so much sense.
So it looks like mental illness on paper, but it actually makes a ton of sense in play pattern when you try it, and it's very funny. It's still Big Shaman. And I will say, without Fairy Tale Forest going to go get Muck Morpher, it does feel an edge on the less consistent side, because we're not necessarily tutoring for Ancestor's Call, and he is running one copy of Eureka, which is sort of a nod to the fact that, like, you need to play something from your hand, and you need at least 3 copies of it. But I believe the list does have Triangulate. You're hard mulliganing. You are hard mulliganing for Flight of the Firebird and Ancestor's Call. And those are your 2 cards, and you're aggressively mulliganing for those. And you don't really need a big stupid in hand, but if you have it, it's not the worst thing in the world. But you're going for Ancestor's Call. And that's a fun thing that he's doing. And again, like, you can run target dummy in Big Shaman, and it's okay, because it's not like you're summoning a copy from your deck, and you're playing it from your hand for free. And it has taunt. Cool.
Free mana 2/4 with taunt. Like, all right.
And you just drew 2 cards, right? So like you got deeper into your deck if you need to find your one of your Rockbiter weapon or your Jam Session or something to buff up and find lethal. It's very funny.
I'd like to try it.
Yeah, that sounds like a really fun deck.
It's funny because when you just first say target dummy, I'm like, what? But when you explain it,
Big Shaman.
I haven't been excited for a Big Shaman in a while.
Absurd.
Yeah. Target dummy and Big Shaman, but it's
genius. It's actually genius.
Actually genius.
Like, I might sound stupid, but it's really smart.
And I did drop it in our chat here, and the code directly as well, which is going into the show notes if you are listening afterwards. Continue.
No, that's what I got. That's my my mile a minute yap fest about what my observations on the wild meta, just sort of on the back of Corb's little blurb. If you do look on HS Guru, Big Shaman's ticking up. I think Big Shaman, not necessarily this version, but Big Shaman is in general, I think, probably favored into disco. It's got healing. It makes big bodies that soak up the soul barrages. Miracle Rogue for similar reasons. It depends on who high rolls faster. I'm pretty sure. So
That would make sense.
yeah.
So, Hydra, what have you been playing? I know you said that you've been playing some like Murloc Quest Paladin in Standard. Is that primarily what you've been jamming, or have you been experimenting a little in that format?
I mentioned earlier I played Death Knight, but I didn't really enjoy it. The games were taking way too long, and I was trying to sort of be in and out a little bit. But no, I guess I'm just an abuser of the Dive the Galaka Depths, the quest. And it's funny because I had also the quest for win or play two tavern brawls, right? But I still had the weekly quest of win 5 like arena games or
Tavern Brawl,
Battlegrounds or Tavern Brawl, right? And so I did my play 2 Tavern Brawls. I was like, you know what? If it ain't broken, like just jam that deck here, right? So I just selected Paladin, assuming that it's gonna be the quest, and it is. And I went 2-0, and I was like, oh, I just got 2 ticks on my weekly, so may as well just do it, right? Because right, get her done here. It did take. Guys, I apologize. It did take 6 games to get all 5 wins, unfortunately.
Did you encounter a mirror?
I'm trying to remember what I lost. I might have been like a mage with a bunch of stall. I can't remember what the mage deck has.
Probably Protoss Mage or something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
or
or
the
you're just being frozen and you can't do stuff.
Yeah.
And
maybe not the quest. Okay. Have we seen graphics like Whiz Bang, the Splendiferous Whiz Bang having a better win rate than like
I lost to 100.
8 out of than like 8 out of
Okay.
11 of the standard quest decks.
Ooh, this could be a good opportunity to push for legend with Whizbang.
I don't think so.
Hey.
Not with the rest of the meta being like
I'm gonna
other decks.
do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it
No,
again.
I can't find.
Let me rephrase it that way.
Hydra, like part of somebody in Linny's server is just like he posted a record 7-9. Who can guess exactly how many Murloc Pally I've run into with like a little smiley face?
I'm guessing
and I was
9.
like 8.
9. You know what's hilarious is I actually so this is the funny part about jamming that deck is I actually have 0 mirror matches.
Whoa.
Yeah, which I thought was really weird. I think people are trying to counter it at this point. It seems to be what's happening because it drives everyone crazy, so people are targeting it, I think is what's happening at this point. Because this was all yesterday, so that's already 2 days after the expansion launch. So people got to play with it for 2 days, and people are like, okay, screw this deck, we're gonna counter it. And because there was, I think I got it confused with when I was talking in the Tavern Ball, but I think it was standard. There was a mage game that I played, and it went on forever. Because they just kept stalling my board like over and over and over again. It was definitely over 10 turns if I could find the replay. But anyway, they would freeze me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and just like there was nothing I could do. But I did pull through. But the one loss that I did have, I remember now. There's the one is the priest deck, and there's the 1/6 that says after your minion attacks, give it the health that this has, and then they buff that, and then every time they attack, their minions get bigger. Well, they put it behind a taunt, and
which kept on having its health buffed.
There was nothing I could do, and it took forever because there's the lag in the attack because it gets buffed or whatever, and then they also knew that they had me. Oh, no. So instead of going face, they were trading anything that I put down.
No.
They were like, there's nothing you can do to win. There is nothing you can do. Just get a kill. They'd had lethal like 3 times, I think. But I was there for XP. I didn't care. Right? I'm like, okay, whatever. And like it's early on in the rewards track.
I probably thought you were a
bunch
bot.
of experience.
They could have.
Yeah, because I was
Why is this guy giving up? Is he scripting?
I tempoed a war leader to see if they would attack it, and they just did. And I was like, because I couldn't do anything with that war leader, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Like it was just the only thing on my side of the board. It was hilarious. They probably did think I was a bot. That's hilarious. But no, that is other than the Death Knight pre-build, that is the only deck that I've played with. And like I said, I'm sitting at an 86% win rate. So
Nice.
going pretty well. I'll probably keep jamming it until something is done about it, because I know that Blizzard doesn't like bad play experiences. So if they do something about it, I might be regretful that I didn't, get it in while I could. So yeah. That's basically my experience. How about you, Sheep? What were you jamming over there?
Yeah, so I played a little bit of a lot. I haven't actually played any Murloc Paladin yet. Not because I haven't wanted to. I've been playing a whole lot of other things. So I've played a little bit of Aggro Druid. It was all right. I played what everyone else is calling Low Druid. I still just think of it as Big Druid. Like it feels like Big Druid. What am I doing? Ramping and looking for a big minion to just drop big minions, which
you could call it whatever you want, and if Big Druid's what you want to call it, because that's what it used to be called, then you just call it Big Druid.
Yeah, buddy. So I've been playing a decent amount of Big Druid. Yeah. But I did feel the need to define it for folks, since that is not the common nomenclature. I tried out some Elemental Shaman, which was okay. Some Hand Buff Hunter, which was all right. A couple different, or an Aggro Priest. This Demon Hunter, 2 different Demon Hunters. So one that was just aggro, and then one that was like the 2 quest. Unfortunately, the 2 quest isn't very good. And then a couple of different hunters. 2. So the one that's done the best of the hunters is like essentially like a Zerg hunter. That's been really fun. That was one that I just kind of cooked up. And then the other one was one I got from Deck Tech, who got it from Tweeg. And it's like it's a quest. Or no, it's not actually the quest. That's right. It's just Beast. It feels like it should be the quest, but it's an aggro Beast deck, and that one's really fun too. I didn't do as well with that one, but I also only played like 2 or 3 games. So, like when you're just getting the feel for the deck, especially on mobile, when you don't have a deck tracker up and stuff.
Right.
You got it. So that's kind of what I've been playing, a little bit all over the place. And so I was talking with Daniel the other day, Storm Rage, and
Sheldon?
yeah, Daniel Storm Rage Sheldon. That's the one. So we were talking about like there's Murloc Paladin and there's what I was calling Big Druid, and there's like an aggro like priest, and it kind of, this to me feels like a lot more of a like 10th anniversary set than like the last, the 10th anniversary year did. Not necessarily from like a flavor perspective, but even kind of with quests, like quests coming back, and the warrior quest, while it's not a very warrior-y thing, it gives you all of the old quests, and it feels like such a love letter to Hearthstone's past, both in, this Ungoro specific, but also some other things that weren't necessarily like features in Ungoro, like Murloc Paladin.
It's a cool way to look at it.
Right? Like, I just thought that was a really neat thing. So that's kind of like my big contribution is I've been playing a little bit of a lot, and it's kind of giving me old school Hearthstone vibes, but with like the power level cranked right up. So I've been playing a lot more standard than most people, but that's because I've been like feeling like it was more of that like callback style. Have you played any standard games, Schmoopy?
I have not played a...
Nice.
No, that's not true. I think maybe I've played one. I think I played one queued into a Starship DK. Lost over the course of 10 plus turns and immediately left the format because I feel like that is the deck that will chase me. Like a hard, popular, good, grindy control deck with lots of healing is probably the fastest way to kick me out of the format, especially when it feels like I can't race it down. Like I don't mind control decks in Wild because you can race them down, and like, yeah, they have some crazy swings and they can clear your board a couple times, and they can even clear your board early. And like, sometimes you just know early on, you know what, I'm just not getting there, and you leave. But in Standard, you just sort of grind them down. You're close. Oh, you're so close. Nah, your got down. Oh, you're so close. Nah, you're not really getting there either. You're so close. Well, now they healed by 20, and because they've got many Ancient of Yours down now, and your stuff's all blown up, and they've also got 8/8s, and by the way, you lost. Or like whatever, like, you know, like whatever. I know that's more Warlock than anything, but you get the idea. It's just like,
one of my games where I was playing the new like quest / Starship DK, I went up against the Warrior quest. I think that's the one that took the longest.
Oh, I bet.
I think
they pulled off the reward and everything. They pulled off the reward and everything. It was crazy.
So with also, since I didn't say it when we were talking about Wild, I have also been playing some Wild, mostly Disco Lock, few different versions, but yeah, now that E.T.C's back in the Mage Quest, and yeah, I'm gonna be doing that soon.
We'll slip you some codes when I know you'll know, Sheep. When I know you'll know.
And I mean, I'm also gonna make my own in the interim.
Oh yeah,
and then I'll get
I'll
get the better one from you whenever, the more refined one from you whenever, you know.
Right. After I've sworn at somebody and like gotten a couple people timed out, and And then like somebody has like taken pity on my soul and like sat down for, like OTZ sits down for 5 minutes and makes one that's like 3 times better than anything we were trying to come up with, screaming at each other like dumb monkeys on stream. Yeah, that sounds about right.
This is the way.
Unrelated advice with Hydralisk.
Hydra.
Schmoopydady.
Now, typically, unrelated advice is supposed to be not Hearthstone related, but I find this a unique opportunity because between the three of us, we did not know what, scrolling back up to check, Spirit of the Mountain was. Sheep, have you since looked it up, knowing you were not the person at...
I have not, but I do think that I know what it is. Just from the art of the.
Okay, so you have an idea. Hydra, have you looked it up since we've discussed it?
So I oath to myself not to because it's so easy to do that. But something Sheep said later, like 5 minutes ago, made me realize what it is. So I'm like 99% sure I know now what I didn't earlier.
Okay.
But Sheep talked about something that made me, I'm pretty sure, like 99% that I know. So you might have to ask us about Bleach.
I still don't know what it is. Do you want to ask me what it does?
Yes.
Okay.
Unrelated advice with Schmoopydady.
Schmoopydady.
Hydra.
So earlier in the podcast, between the three of us, we could not figure out what the card Spirit of the Mountain was. Since then, Sheep and I have pieced together what it is. So, and you just mentioned that you are clueless still. So, Schmoopydady, what is the card Spirit of the Mountain?
Okay, so I don't know if it's like a Shinto thing, but I know there's this like belief that's like on a given mountain ecosystem, there's like one spirit animal that is basically embodying like the spirit of the mountain itself. He's like the guardian, but also sort of a wrathful being. He's like sort of they refer to him as the king of the mountain, is how it's typically like translated in something like Mushishi, right, which is an anime that like very
good,
right? So, right, I think I'm on the lines. I think I'm on the line right here. So okay, so I think Spirit of the Mountain involves a spirit and a mountain, and I think it's like a mountain with like a little white sheet thrown over it with some holes cut for eyes, which seems weird to me because mountains don't have eyes.
The hills have eyes.
Wiser words have never been spoken, and you heard that on
Born to be wild.
We wish they didn't have eyes, but the hills definitely have eyes.
So Hydra, what do you think it is? I haven't looked it up yet.
Okay, so I was reading. I got thrown off at first because in the patch notes it states now correctly tracks for both players. That's all. That's the only hint you're given. Right. So it's something that is tracking, but it throws you off because it says for both players. So it's like it's tracking something you're both doing, and I'm really confused. But okay, so I'm gonna start off with Spirit. So I thought of the wolf spirit. What's it called?
The Spirit of the Wolves?
Shaman card. The Shaman card, you get two threes.
I think it's Spirit of the Wolves. I think.
You know what? Yeah. Anyway, so Anyways, that card has Spirit in the title. And so I was like, it's probably a Shaman card. Right? So that was the first thing. And then it says tracks. So it's tracking something. So I'm like, it's got to be a quest. Right? It's because tracking something. And like it could be an old quest line or something. But why would they be fixing that? So it has to be the current one. The current Shaman quest. And I'm like tracking for both. That part I had no idea. So I'm like,
I have no idea what that. Why? What?
Maybe if you're playing in the mirror, it was like messing up and not counting properly.
Was it just like turboing through?
Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. But it's a Shaman quest. Is my
quest.
assumption.
Yeah. And what made me realize it is whenever we were playing in the theory crafting and people had the signature one and we were running into that a decent amount, there was that big pretty old mountain and tracking for both players. That's how I got there.
Yeah.